Me, an 18-year-old female, with my husband, a 20-year-old male. He wants me to give up all my B-Day presents for vacation and then gives me no say in the said vacation. We got married when I was 17, partly because I was pregnant and partly because we were madly in love. Our daughter Candace, 1, she's the best, cutest, funniest toddler I've ever seen. I may be biased. He dropped out of college to get a full-time job as a line cook, and he's really good at it. I'm currently going to college, fully covered thanks to my scholarships. He's done irrational things in the past, such as buying a $1,700 new computer and then complaining about having no money. He's disrespected me in the past by ignoring my opinions, swearing at me, but I've never been angrier than I am right now. Reddit, my husband asked me a couple months ago to give up all my future birthday presents and instead ask for plane tickets to EVO. I was a little miffed, but I understand why he wanted to go, as his friends live in Vegas and was going too. So I said sure. Yesterday we were talking about the plans and he said that they were bringing Candace with us. I told him that I didn't think it was a good idea, as I've flown with her several times to visit my parents in New England and I know how rough it is. I also told him that it wouldn't be as enjoyable for me if she came, as I'm her primary caretaker and didn't want to spend our vacation doing what I normally do, except in Vegas. He got really mad at me, saying that he just wanted his friend and friend's family to meet her. Later, when we were having dinner at my Mills, who I love very much, she asked if Candace was staying with her during our trip. He said no, we're bringing her to meet our friends. I told him that I really didn't want to do that, and Mill said something like, "Won't you have more fun with just the two of you?" At which he got upset and said that they were really wanting to meet her and that we should shut up. He also had put off changing Candace's diaper before we came to dinner and made his mother do it. Oh, by the way, she did not want Candace to suffer just because he didn't want to do it. Those two things combined made me incredibly angry, but I don't know what to do about it. He's done the diaper thing before, but this time it just seems so incredibly self-centered. Okay, for the top comments. Comment number 1. No, if he wants plane tickets, he can work extra hours instead of you having to give up all your future presents. And by the way, you're also a parent of the child, so you get a say is where she goes and what she does, especially since you're taking care of the child more than him. If he wants his friends to meet your baby, then they can come to you. Comment number 2. Everything about this, you're the wife and mother, not housemaid and baby factory. You're 50% of the relationship. You get 50% of the say. He gets 50% of the say. Stop letting him make the decisions. Comment number 3. I feel like a live-in maid sometimes. He just doesn't seem to listen to anything I say. He used to split the chores with me, but that stopped a long time ago. Every time I try to give input on big decisions, he steamrolled over me to the point where I don't think it's worth it to argue. The only time I've changed his mind is when he told me not to visit my parents for a visit that was scheduled 2 months in advance because he said he would be lonely. I think he only let me go because my parents bought no refund tickets. I'm not going to be a baby factory though. I had an IUD put in as soon as possible after giving birth. Here's comment number 4. Honestly, OP. He screamed at you for not cutting his food into small enough pieces, even if he apologized. The fact he even thought that it was okay for 1 second is unbelievably abusive. Combined with everything else you've said here, it sounds like he treats you terribly. This is only going to get worse as your daughter gets older. What if you need to give up presents for me becomes putting his wants and desires ahead of your daughter's needs? He's already refusing to attend to her basic needs and giving you no emotional support when you do. Please consider going to counseling immediately or divorcing him and finding someone who respects you. You deserve better. Okay, now for the updates. Just brought him dinner in the hopes that he'd be in a good mood when it finished so we could talk. He got mad at me for not having cut the chicken on a salad into small enough pieces. I stood my ground in a way by saying, I don't want to pick out all of the chicken and cut it smaller. If I get you a knife, would that be okay? And he said, what the F? I'm busy right now and you can't do this for me? I don't want it anymore. Just throw it away. This isn't uncommon, but he just seems so mad and I haven't even tried to talk to him about this yet. You think he feels bad about yesterday or is he just cranky from work? Update number 2. He apologized for yelling at me when we sat down and talked. I used some of the lines from the comments, and he said that Candace doesn't have to come with us, but it would make him a little sad. I then sat down and started updating on my tablet, and he sat next to me, but he got angry again when I scrolled too fast and he couldn't read something over my shoulder. I responded that I was reading it, not him, and he yelled that we were supposed to be spending time together. This is why I usually get steamrolled by him during arguments, because he starts getting mad and swearing at the weirdest things, and I just want him to stop getting upset. But hey, he said that it's okay if Candace stays home, and that's what I came here for. Update 3. Wow, this blew up overnight. Okay, let me clarify a couple of things I saw mentioned in the comments. Yes, he is like this sometimes, but the rest of the time, to me, he's a good husband and father. He does change some diapers, but has a tendency to push it on someone else if he can, which I don't usually get mad about. It's that he made her sit in the car like that after promising to change her, as I had dealt with a particular nasty blowout that morning. He always apologizes if he yells. I just don't like the yelling and swearing in the first place, which I've told him about. As to the chicken cutting, he's told me in the past to do that. I just forgot to cut it smaller this time, and I think he got mad because he's told me before. We've been to a marriage counselor, but he said that it didn't really do anything for him and that it wasn't worth the money and the time. Now, I'm talking to my older sister right now, and I've shown her this thread. I might show my bill. She and I are very close. Okay, update 4. I talked to my sister and a close friend of mine. Both said that they had seen similar things happen while at my house, but they didn't think it was appropriate to speak up about it. They also advised me to show this to my mill, which I will do tonight. My friend also said that if I need a place to stay, I can stay with her as she has a spare bedroom. I'm talking to both and then Mill to decide what to say to them about all of this, and it's going to end with essentially we'll need to work through this together or in individual counseling, or I'm going to go live with my friends until you've decided. Thanks for your support, everyone. I didn't realize that this kind of behavior wasn't normal, or at least I thought it was balanced out by good times. I'll update you on Friday after I've talked to him. Okay, next story. AITAH for putting up a fence after my new neighbors dug up part of my yard. Got my new neighbors. Our backyard was totally open with no fences, no clear boundary except my driveway. Their 700 square foot house is crammed with family like parents, grandparents, uncles, etc. Whatever, it's not my business. One day, some uncles were unloading wood and I asked if they were building a deck. They said, no, a garden. Cool. But a few weeks later, they bring in a mini excavator and start digging. Their property line marker was literally a stick in the ground. No survey, no clue where the real line was. I didn't know either, so I ordered a plot survey while they were still working. Tried talking to the foreman's uncle. He straight up walked away whenever I'd approach. Survey came back after their project was done. Surprise, they dug into my yard. They ended up with a ground level deck and garden beds. Not on my property, but they didn't bother leveling the ground they tore up while the machine was there. Now they're outside all the time. Not a problem on its own, but I hate feeling like I have to wave or chat every time they're out there. Then they started having big family gatherings. People park all over the front lawn and use my driveway and yard as a cut-through. Their kids, between 5 and 16, play in my driveway, run on my rock wall, and generally treat my property like it's theirs. No one has told them not to. So I put up a privacy fence. It's about 7 to 8 inches inside my property line, so I can still mow and maintain outside it and keep them from putting stuff against it. I didn't tell them ahead of time, sort of like they didn't tell me they were landscaping half my yard, so I figured we were even. But next, I'm also going to put up a stone wall in the front part of my yard to make it a little harder for them to drive in and park using my land as a cut-through. AITAH? Here's the first comment. NTA, there's truth to saying good fences make great neighbors. Second comment, there's something known as adverse possession. If the neighbors continue making use of your land, they could eventually claim parts of it. So fences and walls are smart. So is hiring a lawyer to send a cease and desist letter. Some places you are allowed to post no trespassing signs as well. And the lawyer who sends the letter can tell you if that reduces your liability. If some family members of the neighbors get hurt while tromping through your yard and traveling on your drive, is there an easement that they may have the right to use your driveway? Otherwise, they should be finding another way to get to their house. Comment 3. No, they cut over the front part so they can get a better angle into their yard to park. I'm not so worried about the adverse possession. I've been here for 7 years. They just moved in and I maintain the yard. They need to do that for the 7 years without me doing anything for it to be possible as I understand it. Comment 4. OP. Maybe another solution to a fence on the front lawn to prevent cars from cutting across your yard is to add large landscaping stones, boulders in that area. You can plant low-maintenance perennials around the stones. Hostas, cornflowers, black-eyed Susan, low bushes. The bees will love it. You'll have some cute landscaping and no more neighbors on your property. If the kids are coming on your property, maybe add a motion sensor sprinkler. Actually, this may attract the kids.